thought you said the internet was there.
No, I was talking about the microphone. Okay, here we are, the Sports Porch Black and Gold edition, back for another fantastic Monday night on, where are we? Facebook, LinkedIn, X, Instagram, all over the world. YouTube. Yes, and of course, we drop the podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. And if you haven't already figured it out yet, we are always live on Radio PGH. I always drop that link in the comments right there. So if you're in the car, you don't want to watch us on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or anywhere like that, you want to listen to us on Radio PGH at that link. Anytime, any place, anywhere, our brand new internet radio station. Schwaber, how are you feeling today, Mark?
Well,
you're looking bright. You're looking bright.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm wearing gold, black and gold.
Yeah, black and yellow.
Now I know that Steve this is a shirt that your buddy gave you, right?
Yes.
Is your buddy watching tonight? Is that why you're wearing this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Were you inspired to wear this very strangely yellow colored jersey?
I like it, actually.
Really?
I thought that it was appropriate for the show.
Okay, well, good.
I like it. It's got Kutch on it.
Yeah, it's a show about Pittsburgh sports.
You've got a certain glow to you tonight, Mark. I must say, you've got a certain glow. So what are we going to do here? And HJ is across from me in the studio. Of course, that's the Grand Schwabini. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to talk Pittsburgh Black and Gold sports, as we always do. We did have a post-game show yesterday. We're going to expand on that a little bit today. Of course, the Steelers with a victory. We've got a little HJ action. Hockey Jesus here wants to talk about a little bit of hockey
right around the corner.
And we're going to stump the Yinzer tonight. I think we might. This is a good one. I like this question.
We haven't gotten one right in like 2 weeks.
Really? That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We've been on a losing streak.
This is the kind of question that off the cuff, I would not expect you to know, but because of the answer, you might just know it. So we'll get to that in a little bit.
You just might know it. So you're saying either I'll know it or I won't.
Exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. The Grand Schwabini had a prediction. Was that yesterday that you predicted 23 touchdowns for? No. Last week you predicted 23 touchdowns for Russell Wilson, and he ended up not starting. So are we going to have a new prediction?
No.
Okay.
No. You can't go back on a prediction.
Yeah. No, I mean, are we going to have another prediction this week? A different prediction?
You never know what's going to come up in these.
You never know what's going to happen.
All right. You don't. That's true.
The spirits come to me.
We have Trader Joe's snack time.
And he sends it out.
Yeah. We have Trader Joe's snack time, of course, and what we are watching. So let's just dive right in. This is from our show, and you can always catch us on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. This is from our show yesterday, and I did put a Twitter poll out there. And we all know, the Steelers won. They won with Justin Fields and the defense. And I put a Twitter poll out there yesterday, and I was looking at the results earlier today. I just want to get the most updated results right now. And
well, you said Justin Fields and the defense. I think what you meant to say was the defense and Justin Fields.
Yeah. I'll give you that. Where is my post here?
This is great radio when you're looking up something and you can't find it.
Yeah, I mean the crowd is at the edge of their seat.
It's like did we get 20 votes for Justin Fields or did we only get 4?
No, 88%. Should the Steelers continue to roll with Fields? 88% said yes, 12% said no.
How many total votes?
We 17. So I mean, statistically, is that significant? I don't know.
Well, I think that just means people like the way Fields played.
Yeah.
And they want to reward him.
Yeah.
But the NFL is not a reward league.
Right.
It is who's the better guy league.
Right. Before I would comment, I would need to know the standard deviation of the mean.
I have no idea, Schwab.
Whatever it is,
I'm in the middle of drinking root beer.
There will be a regression to the mean, without a doubt.
Oh. Okay.
That seems to be the line on Pittsburgh sports lately, regression to the mean. So we want to know what you think. Should now, of course, Tomlin's going to have his presser tomorrow.
Do you guys listen to it? Noon every day.
I didn't.
No, well, I did not today. Yeah.
I mean, just get the Pittsburgh, get the Steeler app and turn it on at like 12 o'clock.
I did hear
and just listen to it. There's so many gold nuggets in there. It's worth your 15 minutes.
I'll tell you what.
I've listened to a bunch of them.
Hearing him talk about Cameron Johnson and his injury, you'd think that Cameron Johnson was already in the Hall of Fame.
And he was the Eagles punter, and they ditched him, right?
Well, he was good. They won the Super Bowl with him, and he was good.
Right.
But, they just got to the point where, like, we don't want to make you the highest paid punter in the league, so you can go somewhere else.
Okay.
What a freak injury that was, how he got injured, too.
Yeah.
Like, the guy blocking basically body slammed him into his punter's knee.
Right.
Like, that wasn't very smart.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't... who's going to punt now? Did we pick up a punter?
Well, they'll get somebody.
I didn't see anything.
Gonna have some.
They can always go over to the Australian rules football team and try somebody out there.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
maybe they'll draft a woman.
That.
What do you think?
Did you? Actually, though, it was kind of interesting. Did you?
No.
Did you know?
Not in on that.
No.
Did you know that the kicker for the Lions had never kicked in college before?
He was a soccer player, right?
He was a soccer player, and then he tried out for maybe like the Arena League or something, and it was in the Arena League. He never kicked a football in high school or college.
Well, that means there's hope.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to get nervous.
Right. And he was
he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing out there.
He has no idea.
But really
blind faith.
Think about it. I was thinking, like, if he missed that field goal to tie the game at the end of regulation, you'd be sitting there, and the first question you would have is, how could you pick a guy who never kicked in college?
Yeah.
No, it's true,
right,
but I mean, you can't go out and just go take Justin Tucker from Baltimore.
Right.
You can't go get Boswell from the Steelers. Those guys don't exist, so you got to create it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're trying.
Yep.
I don't know if I would do it in the season where you're favored, though.
Right.
That's a lot of pressure on somebody who's brand new to the game.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, I mean, and we did do this on our
Percy Harvin is what John's saying.
Harvin is a free agent, unfortunately.
Yeah,
that's
you're right about that, John. And we all know how the Steelers like to go get new players.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they don't.
Yeah, they don't. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay, so the Steelers win. Let's do a quick good, bad, and ugly from the game.
Oh, I love Clint Eastwood. Let's talk about good, bad, and the ugly.
Go for it. The Kyle's watching us on Instagram. What's up, Kyle?
Kyle, what's going on? Long time no hear.
So good, bad, and the ugly. Steve, give us all three.
I think the good was 100% the defensive backfield for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that was. I didn't think that the other corner would play as well as they did. They got pressure on a quarterback, made him make mistakes, got 3 turnovers. That's the good. Do you want me to do the bad and the ugly?
Do all three.
Too?
We'll do all three.
Okay. The bad, unfortunately, are all the field goals. No touchdowns is always bad in the NFL. They got to get better at scoring touchdowns. The ugly has to be 2 things. The refereeing was just horrendous. I went back and saw that play with TJ Watt.
Right.
He was 100% not offsides.
Right.
100% not offsides. And by the way, even though he was 100% not offside, you still can't review it, so it doesn't really friggin' matter because the refs just absolutely blew that.
We almost came to blows watching the game, trying to decide.
Yeah, you were like, oh, he was off, he moved before the ball got snapped, and every angle they showed during the game didn't show the angle that we finally got to see thanks to this thing called the internet. Thank God for this thing called the internet.
No, I'm talking about when you were like, why aren't they reviewing it? And Mark and I were like, you can't review that. You can't review penalties.
Yeah.
We almost came to blows over that.
Well, and they weren't even showing a replay where you could see it well.
True.
That was also. And the other ugly is George Pickens run the frig out of bounds. Yeah. When there's 4 seconds left, don't try and score a touchdown at the 25-yard line. Run out of bounds. They didn't get dinged on it, but I just want to get in the George Pickens' heads that he needs to think more about the team than himself.
Yeah, that's tough.
I have one final good. I did see a video where all the Steelers were after the game, like in the stands, like throwing their stuff into the stands and high-fiving all the fans that were there. I thought that was pretty cool for the Steelers to do because let's face it, Steeler Nation showed up in Atlanta and that really helped them.
Yeah, it did. And I'll tell you what, the Steelers represent better than any team I've ever seen in almost any pro sport. I mean, just and I'm not talking about like when the Mets play the Phillies or vice versa, that's driving distance. Yeah. I'm talking about all over the world, anywhere you go. They have the potential to take over any stadium.
That's because they live down there. They don't all travel down there. Yeah. They just live there.
That's what I'm saying. There's just so many around. So okay, good, bad, and ugly. Schwaber, what about you?
I'd say the good was the pass rush. It was pretty unstoppable. They had pressure all day, and even if they didn't get to the quarterback, they were in his face.
Yep.
I would say if there was a bad, I guess you would say, part of the reason why you kicked 5 field goals was because I don't believe there was any red zone offense.
I don't think there was any red zone offense.
No.
I mean, because all the field goals were, over 40, right?
So I'm just trying to make it a little different.
No. They remember they had the ball on the 10 when they went for it.
That's true, but that's one time.
They were definitely in the red zone.
They were
one time.
So they were in the red zone once.
Yeah. Maybe twice. But
that's not good.
Yeah, not good. Right.
And the ugly. I don't know that there was anything that was particularly ugly in the game. I'm just going to go with the new kickoff sucks.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, good, bad, and ugly for me. The good was the defensive secondary play and the line.
So you're repeating the two of us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's good is good, right? Yeah. I think when you look at a game, you can pick out what's good pretty easily.
I'm just interested to see if there's any other interesting nuggets in there.
Yeah. And off to a blazing start later. Here we are. So the bad for me was the offensive line play.
Oh, interesting.
And the rushing game. I mean, Fields is a mobile quarterback. I don't count that because usually when a guy like him is running, I mean, I didn't see any designed runs for him at all. Not that I think they should do that, but so what I'm saying is that when he's running, it's because it's coverage or broken play, and he can get out in space. So I don't count that. I'm talking about the blocking. I hate, and I'm echoing most of Steelers Nation on this. I hate Broderick Jones at right tackle. He needs to play left tackle. That's why you drafted him, right? I mean, isn't that why they drafted him? I'm confused.
That's what they said. That's what they said.
I mean, to me, and it's like we drafted this guy because he's a speedy wide receiver, so we're going to play him at cornerback. Like, what are you doing?
I didn't look this up. Do you know if Fuamatu played at all?
I don't think he played at all.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're still hiding behind that.
I understand that. So the bad, I would call the bad that.
Do you think it's because of the injuries, though? Do you think when Fuamatu comes back and Seumalo are both healthy, do you think that there's hope for the running game?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I'm ready to say, look, just call Broderick Jones a right tackle and stop this farce. Okay. He's played 90% of his snaps in the NFL at right tackle.
Yeah,
so just call him a freaking right tackle and put the other guy on the left. Just stick with it. So and make it work.
Make Dan Moore Jr. shine so that when he gets drafted next year,
right,
or when he gets on another team next year, he can make his $20 million.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares about that? Just give it some consistency.
Well, clearly Tomlin does because he loves the guy.
I know that's what I'm saying. So John on YouTube, Fields running off script was the only difference in performance from last year, not conducive for continuous success. Right. So, and as far as the ugly goes, I think the ugly is the very fact that they really, I mean, other than on the 10-yard line, that play when they went for it, no red zone.
Yeah, the offense sputtered. Is that what you're saying?
And I would actually say the ugly was having to kick 6 field goals to win a game.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to add to the ugly.
There you go.
No red zone.
Mm-hmm.
We forgot about this one. The continual horrible management of challenges by Tomlin.
Oh, right. Yeah, we forgot about that.
They had a red zone opportunity there, and they didn't go get it.
Yeah. And on top of that, remember when Pickens actually was not tackled, got up and ran for 15 extra yards.
That's what I'm talking about.
Didn't even throw the freaking flag, not once.
Well, and that was the play you were talking about, where he should have gone out of bounds.
No, that was a different play. It was a different play.
They called him down.
The one out of bounds, he just slid out of bounds, and they stopped the clock with 3 seconds. This was like when he made a nice play, not quite across the middle, but like in the field of play. Right. And he caught it, but he fell down, and the guy didn't even really try to touch him.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He got up and ran
you're right,
for another 15 yards, and they said he was down.
Yeah, and the announcers didn't even.
Nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything.
It was like it was scripted that way.
It was obvious to us who are watching on TV, which is what the guy in the booth is supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I wonder.
I don't think they have a guy in the booth.
Yeah, that's the. Well, you kind of went off on the Steelers staff during that one too.
But that was a good one. I forgot about that one, Mark. Excellent addition to the ugly.
So the ugly part of it was, once again, the offense sputtered, and thankfully because of the defense. And the defense was good. I'll give him that. And big play defense. Watt actually had 4 sacks, 2 that were negated on penalties.
But
2 that counted.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think that's necessarily ugly. I think that's just good play.
No. I said that's good. The defense, that was good. Even though those 2 sacks.
Well, you're saying ugly. The officials were.
Yeah, the officials were ugly.
Well, I think I've already expressed my joy with the officiating.
Yeah. So, and John agrees with you guys. Clock, or with Robert, clock management was lacking again as well. It never ceases to amaze me. The lack of situational awareness on the Steelers sideline when it comes to how much time is left in the half. It never ceases to amaze me. This is a professional football team, and the clock, there are so many games that come down to the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And they can never figure out. How many years has Tomlin been the coach? 17 or 18 years, and he still can't figure out when to call a timeout and when not to call a timeout.
He's never been good at that.
Actually, you want to know something. Actually, I got some good information for you. I actually happened when I was driving over here yesterday.
Nice.
I was listening to, I think it was Pompiani and Tomlin, and it was an interview.
Right. Pre-game.
It was a pre-game interview, probably taped the day before.
Right.
Usually.
And actually, he asked him about the timeouts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what Tomlin said was, calling timeouts is 100% his role.
Mm-hmm.
He said nobody on the offense, nobody on the defense is supposed to call a timeout. So he said, like, for example, if Justin Fields is seeing that the clock's going down to 2, his job is simply to make that snap happen. I will call the timeout if he can't get it done in time.
Interesting.
So it was. I thought that was interesting. So he's taking full ownership of it.
Well, that's fine, but the question should be, then why are you so freaking bad at it?
Well, it may be that it's a new thing this year. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
he's the only coach on the sideline that can call a timeout.
Right.
Yeah.
So, anybody else on the field can call a timeout, but what you're saying is he doesn't allow them to do that.
Right. That's what he's saying.
Well, and it's obvious, and now in retrospect, after hearing that and looking back over the last few years at Steelers play, I don't think it's a new thing. A lot of teams, guys will jump up because they know this is when you should take the timeout.
Right.
You never see any Steelers do that.
That's true.
You really don't.
No, not since Ben's been around. Ben used to call timeouts.
Yeah.
He used to run up to the line, timeout.
Yeah.
But you don't see that anymore.
Maybe they give.
Makes a lot of sense.
Or, maybe Ben had the leeway to do that.
Maybe Ben did.
But other than that, So,
John, you're right. Clock management, awful.
It's always bad.
And we got to blame Tomlin for that.
Yeah. And Tomlin takes responsibility.
Let's face it. They probably were surprised when Pickens caught that pass.
Yeah. I was
because
surprised,
it's like, oh wow, they might be able to get a field goal out of this now.
Yeah.
And then when he started to run for the touchdown instead of running out of bounds,
that's
It's like, you're going to run out of time, aren't you?
Are we going to? Yeah.
But I do think that's a purely Pickens instinctual play. I don't think you can blame a coach.
You have to take the thinking away from that guy.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's typical. But I think you can blame a coach for that because they're not looking ahead and saying and making it a priority to these guys like, look, okay, situational football. We got less than 10 seconds to play. We're calling a long pass to you. Where are you going to go as soon as you catch it? No matter what.
Let's say
going out of bounds.
Let's say here. Let's play this out a little bit. Let's say that Pickens, instead of sliding out of bounds, made the juke. The guy went out of bounds far enough that he saw the goal line and just started running for the goal line. Mm-hmm. And then the guy tackles him from behind in the field of play. Mm-hmm. They don't get a field goal.
Right.
They don't get a field goal then. Then how do you feel about it?
Right.
You feel that was really stupid.
Oh, sure.
Right.
But actually, what I would actually go, look, obviously it always starts with the coaching. This is something that you talk about, when you're in training camp, right?
Right.
Or in your practice during the week. But I would also say secondarily, that's also a quarterback leadership call. When that quarterback is in the huddle, that quarterback, calls the play and then should say, guys, there's 7 seconds left. If you make the catch, immediately get out of bounds.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I would think they would be coached to do. I'm not so sure they have been.
Right.
Well, I mean, we've heard quarterbacks call plays when they're mic'd up. They pretty much don't say anything other than the play. I think and the play is it's the coverage, it's the formation, it's the whatever. They go bang, 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 bang. Let's go. So I don't think they're coached to do that anywhere. I think it's all about knowing. It's just like knowing when you're a batter. When you're a batter, you know what the count is. When you're a catcher, you know what the count is.
If you say something, you're like a special player.
Yeah, you're really, really special.
So like when
special.
When Nick Foles said before the Phillies special, "I love you guys."
Yeah.
That was special.
Well, it's because it was the Philly special. There's a lot of love going around there.
My God. Yeah. I mean, it is the city of brotherly love.
Yeah,
yes,
right.
Yes, yeah.
Can we move on from this week? I'm just happy that the Steelers are 1-0.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't do last week that we have to do this week is we have to do our predictions for next week.
Yeah, we have to do predictions. Thursday.
Yeah, so maybe you should work on writing down the games.
I have the games right in front of me.
No. I mean,
I have the games right in front of me.
Our weekly NFL predictions. Yeah, we didn't do that.
We didn't do the Thursday, the Sunday night game, and we have to pick
one random Sunday.
One random Sunday, which I don't have.
Okay, so here's CD. The doctor's in the house. If you can teach 10-year-old flag football players situational awareness, you'd think an adult NFL player could. Just tell him in the huddle. Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's the point.
It's that simple.
I don't feel like this. This is almost a disease, and we're really not going to talk about the Pirates tonight. Other than for me to say, it's the Pirates as far as situational baseball goes, and the Steelers are these coaching staffs teaching fundamentals. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because when you said the Pirates, you almost vomited.
Yeah, seriously.
That's what I'm laughing at.
I mean, when
you went and the Pirates. I thought I was going to see some Trader Joe's flowing out of
there. Not yet. We haven't gotten to that part of the show yet. But yeah, exactly. The Pirates and the Steelers, I mean, and keeping it on the Steelers, how long are we going to go here? I mean, everybody lauds Mike Tomlin for all this different kind of stuff, and he's a great coach, and they want to play for him. But, I mean, when are they going to teach these guys situational awareness? Because you're right. I mean, Pickens almost blew that entire thing.
I think Tomlin just expects it and doesn't think it's his job, when really that's all his job is, to make the obvious ultra obvious so that these guys just do it automatically.
Right.
When you don't tell somebody and you think they know it, you're assuming something that may or may not be true.
John says, I fear Tomlin has a leash on Smith, which affects play calling. I didn't see any middle of the field calls and noticed very conservative plays. Tomlin's low risk, no turnover, rely on the D to win. Yeah, we've talked about that for a long time.
By the way, John, that's now called the Steeler way.
Yeah,
that's true. Also called the standard.
You know what's something that I can't.
It is. I mean, that's just the way they play now, John. And if you want to see over the middle passes, watch the Rams play. Yeah. Watch the 49ers play.
Watch the Eagles play.
Kansas City play.
Yeah.
Because that's where you're going to see it. They have elite quarterbacks. They can make those passes, and they're not worried about them missing them and getting intercepted.
Yeah.
Over the middle went to the funny farm with Antonio Brown.
Yeah, seriously. I mean,
Pretty
when's
much.
the last time we saw a slant pass in the Steelers' O? I can't remember.
They had a good slant pass to Pickens for a touchdown last year.
Did
Yeah.
they? One?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll see that pass because it's only 5 or 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. It's that deep over the middle where you run past the linebackers right before you get to the safety that they're afraid to throw. That's the pass that they're afraid to throw.
I would still say pump the brakes a little bit on defining Arthur Smith's offense. Let's give it another week. He had a backup quarterback in there. They were just hoping to win with a backup quarterback. Let's see what happens when Russ gets under.
I think it's a misnomer to call Fields a backup quarterback. Let's face it; these are quarterbacks 1A and 1B.
Yeah, I'll give you that
because you expect them both to play any given week.
Well, but you would agree with this though. He might not be a backup quarterback, but he's a quarterback that they are afraid of, that he's going to turn the ball over.
True.
That is true. It's his history.
Right.
There's reason for that. That's what he's done. And I didn't look it up, but I bet that's one of the few games that he's ever played where he didn't turn over the ball.
Could be the only game.
It might be because he's a fumbleitis interception machine, but not for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that number change.
Could be.
Okay, you are watching.
Thank you, Gary Anderson.
You are watching the Sports Porch. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram. And of course, we drop the podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts.
I think it's time for predictions.
I was going to say, we're going to move on to NFL Week 2 predictions.
Prediction.
And I'll keep track of them as I always do, but you guys, you got to just tell me what the games are.
Well, the Thursday night game we have right here.
Okay, so
are you ready?
Yeah.
Thursday night we have the Bills at the Dolphins.
Okay. Okay, so Bills at the Dolphins, Schwaber, Thursday night. Bills at Dolphins. Who are you going with? And the way we do this is win or lose. There's no point spread, nothing. We just make it easy.
That's right. Yeah. Win or lose.
Correctamundo. I am going.
What the hell was that?
I love it.
Correctamundo.
Yeah. Correctamundo.
Okay.
I would really. I would really, everything's telling me Dolphins for some reason, but I'm going to go Bills. I think the Dolphins kind of didn't look ready to play this week, and they kind of got away with one. And I think the Bills Josh Allen was out there on a mission to sort of prove that, he can do this. He can make the talent around him better. I'm going to take the Bills in an upset.
Okay, Mark's taking
it would be an upset because I'm taking the Dolphins for the exact same reasons, where I didn't look like the Finns were ready. I think they'll be ready to play the Bills. And let's face it, the Bills had a Herculean effort by Josh Allen, who got dinged up last week. I don't think he's going to be able to do it again. I don't think the Bills have figured out their offense yet. I like the Finns.
Good one, Steve. Way to call it. I'm going with the Dolphins for the exact same reasons you talked about. And I'm going to make that easy. CD's saying Miami, and John is saying the Dolphins.
Plus, I did pick the Finns to win the division, so they better beat the Bills at home.
Okay, Sunday. So we always do the Thursday night game, then we do 2 games on Sunday, the Sunday night game and a pick'em game. What's the Sunday night game?
The Sunday night game, that is, looks like the Bears are playing the Houston Texans.
Ooh,
I think we all know where we're going here.
Yeah, it's going to be CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears won.
They did
win, yeah.
But they won with 93 passing yards.
I mean, it wasn't.
So they're due the breakout is what you're saying.
I don't think so.
I don't think they're going to do it against the Texans. I like the Texans and CJ Stroud.
I'm guessing you're there too.
Yeah. Now, I have a game for you on Sunday. I'm not saying it's a good game by any stretch, but what I am saying is it's an even game.
Let's go for it.
Okay, but hold on. So we're all going for the Texans.
Yep.
John's going with the Texans, and CD's going with the Houston Mixons. All right, yeah, go for it, Schwaber. What's the next game?
So Sunday at 1.
Okay,
1 o'clocker.
The G-Men at the Commanders.
Oh, yeah, that's a great loser game there.
I knew it was going to be that.
I love
knew
it.
It was going to be that.
I love it.
Mark is going to go to he's going to leave no stone unturned when it comes to pissing me off about the Redskins changing their name to the Commanders, and the fact that I actually am on record now saying that I'm an Eagles fan. He's never going to let me forget it. I can never go back on that.
But he is right. This is an equally awful game.
It's one of the worst games of the season by far. Maybe potentially one of the worst games ever, because I told you guys their defense was shitty, and it is.
If you think about it, this one and the next one they play could be for the last place, which would be the first place pick.
That's nice. Okay, so CD is already saying the football team, the Commanders. So Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I like the Commanders. I think Jaden Daniels looked pretty good, and I think they're going to win. And by the way, if you watched any of that Giants game, what are those uniforms? That's somebody
their Centennial uniforms? It's
why?
Like the bumblebee for the Steelers. It's
why?
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's the way I felt about the bumblebee.
That's
too.
exactly right.
They're just awful.
Why are you putting that out?
Don't do that, and go Commanders.
Yeah, okay.
I also like the Commanders. I think this is a total implosion season in New York.
Yeah.
I don't think Brian Dable gets through the end of the season.
John says he never goes with Danny Wood and nickel Commanders. I'll tell you what, guys, I was a Washington fan for many, many years, and they always know how to lose games just like this one.
There you go.
I am going with the Giants.
You're saying Daniel Jones special.
No, I'm saying
Danny Wood and nickel special.
I'm saying Washington should just implode their stadium, destroy the offices, get rid of their football team. They shouldn't even move it somewhere else. They should just give that franchise to a city that really wants one. And the Giants always give us fits. So yeah, I'm going with the Giants. Okay. Those are our predictions. We'll see how we do throughout the year. Does the Grand Schwabini have another prediction this week? It's okay if he doesn't. But if he does, we want to hear it.
Are the spirits talking to you today?
Well, the spirits have been meandering.
Okay.
The question is there something that you would like to know? Is there something that you feel you could gain a benefit with that knowledge?
No.
Not for Steve.
That's a no.
Will I ever win the lotto?
No.
Okay. That's all we need.
He didn't even have to rub the lamp for that one.
I know. That's all we need this week.
That one went, it was like a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It didn't even pause. Yeah. It just went straight in and straight out.
Okay. We're going on to Stump the Yinzer right now. This is a little thing we do here because Steve Hockey Jesus is our resident Yinzer. It's in his DNA. Some of his DNA watches the show.
I bleed pierogi.
And that's great. And then we have Mark, who comes in here from Philadelphia. And what we do is every week we try to stump the Yinzer with a trivia question. If Steve gets it wrong and Mark gets it right, he becomes honorary Yinzer for the week. Schwaber is, of course, married to a famous Yinzer. Her name is Amy May.
Yes.
And we know she's watching as well. So this week, Stump the Yinzer.
She's the female Yinzer.
Yeah.
The female Yinzer. Who was the Steelers' first ever draft pick? Charles Dickens, Ernest Hemingway, William Shakespeare, or Stephen King? It was one of these people.
Are you serious?
Yes, I am.
Say it one more time.
Who was the Steelers' first ever draft pick? Charles Dickens, Ernest Hemingway, William Shakespeare, or Stephen King?
I think I know who it is.
Well, you got to say it first.
Yeah.
I'm going with Shakespeare. Running back.
Toledo. I am going to go with tight end out of Southwest Missouri State.
Okay.
Stephen King.
Yes. It was Shakespeare.
Oh,
Notre Dame in 1936. And for those of you watching,
look
there
at
he
William.
Is. Look at that.
What a strapping young lad.
William Shakespeare. He was a back from Notre Dame. What do we have in the comments here?
You think he's still alive or dead?
Well,
I'm saying dead.
That explains the bad start to the franchise.
Yeah.
when you got a poet as your first pick,
you don't select a poet from England.
Yeah.
With your number one pick.
That's right. Especially when you lived
I'm back.
in like that.
That's my first win in a while.
You are now back in the Yinzer chair.
I'm back in the Yinzer chair.
Exactly where you need to be.
Feels good.
Okay, so if you guys don't already know, this guy right here is Hockey Jesus, and you can follow Hockey Jesus on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. And Hockey Jesus comes in after every single frickin' Penguins game during the regular season and even in the playoffs. If, praise God, they make the playoffs. After every single game, he does a Hockey Jesus update. Faithfully, you can watch him on YouTube after every game or listen to him on the podcast. So hockey season is right around the corner. HJ was on with the counselor about a week and a half ago or so with an update, and now he's got a couple things he wants to talk about. So take it away, HJ.
Well, I have to start talking about hockey because the first preseason hockey game for your Pittsburgh Penguins is September 21st at Buffalo.
It's like 2 weeks away.
That's only a week from Saturday, if you can believe it.
That's already here.
Yeah. And actually, so I went on to the app and I was like, okay, so that means they got to be in camp. There's no word about them being in camp.
Oh.
It's so weird.
That is weird.
They actually are playing what is called a prospect challenge against Buffalo this Friday night, which basically all the young guys get together and they play against each other. It's like a pickup game. If we were to go out and shoot hoops in your driveway, that's what this is.
Right.
Only it's on ice with all the young kids. Rutger McGroarty will be there.
Yep.
So that'll be the first chance of looking at him live. It's not going to be televised. I'm probably not going to go up to the game. Actually, I can't because actually we'll be in Cleveland on Friday night. The other thing that happened in the past couple of weeks is the Pittsburgh Penguins hired a new guy, Joe Brand, to do the radio play-by-play.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
he's coming from Chicago, Chi-town, and I guess they needed a new brand to bring out the Penguins.
So they brought in Brand.
They brought in the new brand.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right.
So he's going to be the radio play-by-play. That means I think he's going to be with Borky some of the time, but Borky's pretty much going to be on the television.
Right.
Oh, and that's really it for the Penguins. No news on Sid, but once again, look at me. Look in his face. Is there worry? There's no worry.
Yeah, he hasn't signed a deal yet.
There's no worry in this face because it's going to happen.
Okay.
So just everybody cool your jets. It's going to be fine. Next couple of weeks, they'll probably sign him or they won't. It's not a big deal.
Would Hockey Jesus ever ask the Grand Schwabini for this prediction?
I would not.
No,
I would not.
Because you know better.
Because the knowledge would come from me, so I would already know the answer.
Okay.
See what I mean? See how this works? All the spiritual hockey sense comes from me and flows into the Grand Schwabini.
Okay.
I just on the subject of church, I want to tell you guys about a funny church sign that I saw the other day.
Sounds funny.
Goody.
It was a Clays Mill Road Baptist Church.
I've never been to Baptist church.
Yeah, and they had a sign outside.
Never been to Clays Mill Road.
They had a sign outside
That's
that
true.
said, "Whoever stole our AC units, keep one. It's going to be hot where you're going."
Very nice.
Oh, I get it. It's like a double entendre.
Yes, double entendre.
And it's giving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very
very nice.
Hopefully that puts some money in their coffers that week.
Yeah.
We hope it helps you go to hell. Yeah, that's pretty much what that was.
That's a little harsh over there, Klein.
Well,
Come on.
You know what I'm saying.
It's a Baptist church.
I don't think it's harsh at all.
They're sharing.
Hey, don't mess with Jesus, and you won't get the horns.
Yeah, there you go. This is going in a really bad direction. Very quickly.
He ain't wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah. Well,
he ain't wrong.
This just means it's time for one of our favorite segments of the show.
Taste the biscuit.
The biscuit.
Taste the
goodness of the biscuit.
Taste the
Taste that honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with that honey sauce.
Don't get
that honey sauce on me.
I don't
like the way it's
with my
chicken wings.
Yes, it is snack time. Trader Joe's snack time here on the porch. And what does that mean? Well, what that means is everybody knows I work at Trader Joe's. It's my day job. Trader Joe's is not sponsoring this, so they're not paying us for this, but they did give me permission to do it. And every week I bring home a Trader Joe's product. We talk about it. We eat it. We give our honest opinion on it. And sometimes we have arguments about it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes
we had Trader Joe's snacks during the game.
And yesterday was a Trader Joe's football day. Absolutely. So this week, the product of the week is
butternut squash, mac and cheese.
Are you serious? I hope it's not.
I love it. Schwaber's always like, are you serious?
It does sound pretty terrible.
Well,
actually.
here's the reason why. I'm going to give you the reason why.
It's just butternut squash and a mac and
The
cheese.
reason why it's because you were lazy.
No, it's not because I'm lazy. Look, you just show up.
It was what just happened to jump into his hand on the way out the door.
No. What it is this. I noticed the other day that we had this.
You can't beat the corn dogs last week.
No, they were good. I noticed the other day that we had this, and I was looking at it, and and of course it's seasonal, butternut squash.
Sure.
And I was like, what in God's name is that? That was my thought.
Right,
what in the hell is butternut squash mac and cheese?
We're still thinking that.
Yeah.
And I'm shaking my head. And I was like shaking my head like, oh my God,
Just like
just
we are right now.
another one of these weird things. And then this lovely young lady came up to me and she said, and Amy says she would love it.
Oh, yeah.
This lovely young lady.
She's a butternutter.
Oh, yeah. She's a butternut squash, pumpkin spice.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. So this lovely young lady came up to me when the butternut squash thing, I noticed it was empty, like it was selling out. And I'm like, this seems ridiculous. And she goes, do you have any more butternut squash mac and cheese? And I said, it looks like we're all out, but I think we might have a box in the freezer. And so she proceeded to tell me this story. Like, I'm in college. This is my go-to. This is the best mac and cheese ever. So I went and I found a box.
Did you make her cry?
And she got 5 boxes. I gave her 5 boxes
Sounds like
of
you
it.
really
Wow.
made her day.
Yeah, I did. I
You
made her
did.
day.
How did that make you
Her
feel?
week.
It made me feel great.
That's wonderful.
actually. Yeah. So I
That's
thought
why he works there.
I grabbed it.
He's just a gentleman
The
and a
little-
scholar.
There
The
you go.
little things.
I grabbed it right away because I thought this is a true.
Staple for somebody.
Well, no, I thought this is a true taste test. I don't know what it tastes like. I thought it would taste horrible.
You got any honey sauce for that?
So okay. So here, I'm going to let you go first, Steve, and then I'll give Schwaber a fork.
Okay.
That was a long explanation. I was trying.
I don't know. It looks a little dry to me.
Well,
I'm not a
cooked
big
it-
fan
I
of
cooked
the
it
dry.
before the show, and then it's.
I'm
been
not a
sitting
big
in-
fan of the dry.
sitting in
I'm
there
just
the whole
saying.
time.
I'm not going to say anything once it goes in my mouth, but I'm just saying it looks a little dry.
I don't ever say anything when it goes in my mouth.
you get a piece of squash.
There you go.
Got to make sure
Yeah.
you get some squash in your bite.
Yeah, there it is on the screen for those of you watching. For those of you listening, CD says put that honey sauce on mac and cheese. So I have not tasted it yet.
Well, I have.
Yes, you have.
And so have I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have formulated my opinion on the mac and cheese butternut squash.
Butternut squash mac and
And
cheese.
so
Go
have
for it.
I.
It is absolute garbage.
It is horrible.
Really?
It's so bad.
It's really.
It is so bad. It is terrible. It's
Yeah.
dry. I can barely taste any butternut squash, and what I do taste of it, I really like. Does anybody have any water?
No,
Anything?
sorry.
Oh, now I got this taste in my mouth the rest of the show. Oh, not good.
There's watermelon stuff in the watermelon.
Yeah,
juice in there.
I need one. I definitely need
All
one.
right, go grab one.
Okay, I'm going to go get one because
Oh my, that's
I
hilarious.
cannot have this taste in my mouth.
Oh my God.
I'll be right back, people.
What is your thought?
I'm not where Steve is, but honestly, I'm not impressed.
You're not going to be buying it again.
No.
No.
No. I mean, I guess I could understand why. I don't know. It's
Well,
not a favorite.
You have to be a butternut squash lover.
Yeah, I think you're right. We ate $3 generic mac and cheese in college. What college student can afford horrible $3 a box nut mac cheese times 5? Now, Trader Joe's is cheap, CD. I think this was like $2.99.
$1.99.
Yeah, no, like $2.99. So it's not expensive, but I'll tell you what, not the best tasting.
No, I'm afraid I might turn into a butternut squash.
All right, well,
Okay,
sorry
I'm back.
guys.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hopefully
people.
they'll let me come into work on Wednesdays. There it was.
It's not, it just that happens. We've
It does.
tasted so many things.
Yeah, I mean,
You're
it's-
eventually going to get something like
Yeah,
that.
it's probably something that a vegan would like.
Yeah, maybe. I think you're right.
Taste the
The goodness of the biscuit. Oh yeah. Taste that honey sauce and more. Taste that goodness of the biscuit with that honey sauce. So good.
Put
Put that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Okay, that was Trader Joe's snack time. Amy May wants you to bring home a little bit. You want to take it home to her?
Take the whole thing back.
Okay.
Home to her.
Yeah, you can take it home to her.
Got to know what she thinks.
Yeah, just a taste, she says. Just a taste.
Just bringing it home, the aroma in the house.
I can tell you,
It's not that bad.
It's going to
Come on.
get cold on your way on your
Yeah.
walk down to the car, which is at the neighbor's house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So many friggin' complaints.
For those of you who don't know, we had to walk about a mile
At least.
to get into Chris's house because they decided to do their driveway today, pave the driveway on the one night of the week that people actually come over to the house.
Well, I mean,
That would be us.
you guys look like you needed some exercise.
I think it might have been a passive aggressive punishment.
Yeah, I think it is. I actually had to park on the street adjacent to it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure my car's going to be there when I get back. I mean, we are in Monroeville,
Yeah,
There was barely a spot there.
and I think neighbors are very aggressive around.
I
here.
want to know if
They
anybody.
they see a car, they like, oh, that must be for me, and it's gone.
Yeah,
It's
it's
gone.
funny.
Yeah, you said there was a reason why you pack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you guys see the piece of macaroni that I spit out of my mouth?
Now I'll check it out on the replay
Okay, I'm
tomorrow.
sure
Yeah, I
Mark-
can't wait to see the mac and
macaroni
cheese view right at
throwing
the
the
camera.
macaroni. Yeah.
For those
After
of you listening on the
the
podcast,
passive aggressive comment got me. Okay, this is the Sports Porch podcast, Black and Gold, the Pittsburgh edition. If you're watching us live, you're watching us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram. And of course, I'm going to drop the podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your friggin' podcasts. Please subscribe, leave us a review, follow us on YouTube at the Sports Porch Podcast. Now we're going to move on to what we're watching. And Schwaber, take it away. Describe what this is.
This is our way of helping you, the listener, you, the viewer. We know that there are too many things to choose from,
way too many,
too many channels.
way too many.
Hulu, Netflix,
YouTube TV,
Max, Amazon Prime, Freebie,
Paramount.
the cock.
the Peacock. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Don't
there.
spew.
There's a lot there. And you know what? Sometimes it's just so darn hard. You try to pick something, you wind up looking at trailers for about 45 minutes, and then it's time to go to bed. So we're going to help you. We're going to help you. We're going to tell you what to watch or what not to watch based on our viewing procedure.
Sometimes we do old shows. Sometimes we do new shows.
John, Jets or 49ers?
That's easy.
I'm going
49ers.
with the 49ers. Yeah.
49ers. Come on.
Jets, Aaron Rodgers, welcome back.
Don't forget P-Tube.
Yeah.
I can't say it because then we'll get banned on TikTok.
Yeah,
So
we don't want to get banned.
Don't
John.
forget P-Tube. Yep, that's anyway. I don't even know what he's talking about.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
So we
I'm
each
happily married.
the only qualifications for this are that you have to have finished the season. If it's a show with multiple episodes, you have to have finished the season that you are currently in.
Even if it has 7 seasons, if you've watched the first 3 seasons, you can give a synopsis of the first three seasons.
If you're in the middle of season 4, you got to, and you want to review it, you got to end it with, finish season 4. Or if it's a movie, you have to watch the whole movie, which I don't know why we wouldn't.
Cannot walk out of the movie theater or turn it off.
Yes, we're very sadomasochistic when it comes to watching our shows.
By the way, the movie theater parking lot was packed on Saturday night.
Okay.
For what?
I don't know what was showing, but I can tell you, for the first time that I can remember pre-COVID.
You mean down at the waterfront?
Down at the waterfront. It was loaded with cars. So I think people are actually going back to the movies again.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Okay, so the first show, the Grand Schwabini is watching
Rough Diamond.
Oh, I haven't heard about this.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Maybe it's on something I don't get.
No, it's Netflix.
No, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was actually one. It was probably out about a year, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's why.
And I just never got around to it. My dad actually recommended it, said it was really good.
Oh, wait. The last time your dad made a recommendation, it went down in flames.
No, usually his recommendations are good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What was the last one? Do you remember the last one?
No, I'm not going to remember that.
It's good. It's basically it's in Belgium, and it's about the diamond trade.
Oh, okay.
It actually specifically brings into it some of my people. It's basically the Orthodox Jews.
Beetlejuice.
I'm not Orthodox. The Orthodox Jews who kind of like run the diamond industry there.
Fun.
And there's
in Belgium.
And there's kind of like the sort of like, redheaded stepchild son who left the Orthodox family to do other things. And now things are falling apart at the family business, and he is somehow drawn back in, and he has to try to save the family business, but he only knows a bad way of doing business.
Oh, that sounds good.
So it was good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
How many seasons is it? One season?
It's one season with season 2 on the way.
Okay. Oh, okay. So there's a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Rough Diamonds on Netflix.
Okay.
Recommended.
That's going on my list.
By the Grand Schwabini. HJ is watching, and my wife is like chomping at the bit to start watching this.
The Perfect Couple.
Oh boy.
On Netflix. It's one of those where it's like, well, it's number 1, it's trending in the top 10. And I'm like, it has Liv Schreiber in it, right?
Yeah.
He's I've missed him so much since Ray Donovan.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, give me some of that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch Ray Donovan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But so you got him and you got Nicole, right?
Yeah.
So you got 2 really high powered actors.
Yeah.
Right there.
Nicole Kidman is by far the hottest woman on the planet.
Well, dude,
other than my wife.
her acting is still
stellar.
Fantastic.
Stellar.
Like both of them playing off of each other because they're the couple, right?
Yes.
She's the power couple. She writes the books.
Yeah.
He's the guy that she married for his money, and he's kind of a drunkard, which is perfect for him.
Which is
he plays a great drunk.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
So perfect. And then his family, he has three boys, and the one boy is getting married. Okay. And the family is freaking a mess. It's a mess of a family.
Yeah.
And somebody dies the night before the wedding.
You sure this isn't a documentary?
It might be. It might be. It takes place in Massachusetts. Cape Cod.
Yeah.
Right. So it's on the Cod. It's everywhere up there.
Wait, it's on the Cod.
Yeah, it's on the Cod.
You mean it's on the Cape?
On the Cape, on the Cod.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
It's on the Cod.
Corn on the cob.
Corn on the cob.
Cod on the corn.
Corn on the Cape
So
Cod.
you've got these beautiful views of everything, and all the people there are friggin' beautiful, right?
Yeah.
It's all the beautiful people of the world,
Hollywood.
and it's just an absolute mess of a situation.
Okay.
And like you think you can
Don't
figure
give it away.
No.
Okay.
You think you can figure out who did it?
It's hard.
But you can't.
Maybe you can.
Okay.
Watch it and tell me.
Okay.
I didn't figure it out.
I have that on my list. Yeah.
It's definitely excellent acting, and you will want to watch all 8 episodes in one sitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
We my wife and I, the only reason we didn't start watching it yet was because we're rewatching Ozark, and we're almost done.
So Susan was away this weekend, so I started watching it Saturday night. I literally just finished it an hour before we showed.
Did you do anything else?
I still am amazed.
That's none of your business.
I know.
I still am amazed that you choose to just waste hours off your life rewatching.
I don't see it as wasting hours off my life.
It's a total waste. It's
you think
time.
so?
It's time that you could have saw something new that would have been incredible, but you just decided to watch something where you already knew the outcome again and again. It makes no sense.
Okay. Well, it's my own favorite form of self-torture.
It's kind of like being a child.
Do you have the Steeler game on, by the way?
No, it's the replay of the game on.
Yeah, he's always watching a replay.
And by the way, I want you to see what Amy May has to say.
Okay.
It was a recommendation by her.
Amy May has been making good picks lately.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, she wants credit for it.
She should get credit for it.
Well,
That's right.
you watched the Mountain Show with her because of my recommendation.
And we did. We liked the Mountain Show.
Snowflake Mountain.
See now, if I
That's
was
last week's, go back and listen.
See now, if I was a selfish watcher
like me,
who also wanted to just replay my own shows that I've liked from the past,
Ray Donovan,
I would not have seen. I would have not have seen Snowflake Mountain.
There you go.
That's right.
You're
and
right.
enjoyed it.
And I would not have got new enjoyment.
Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate it. It's
okay.
John's asking about Bloodline.
Love that show.
Oh,
Bloodline.
I loved it.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
Fill me in.
Netflix. Look it up.
Yeah.
Netflix Bloodline.
Okay.
Yeah, watch it. You'll like it.
Good.
Yeah, it's really good.
You know, I got a new television
It's about a
setup.
messed
Did I
up
tell you
family.
this?
No.
I've got 2 televisions now in one room. It's fantastic.
Oh,
I'm ready to go for football,
I
and
love
I can watch a movie, and I can watch football.
This was one of your kids' bedrooms, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy Mae Steve cried last 2 episodes of Snowflake Mountain.
Yeah.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
You have to cry for some of those kids. They made
Yeah.
such strides.
John-
Good for them.
John Edberg started Bloodline yesterday. John, stick with it. The only bad thing about Bloodline is that they didn't renew it after like season 3 or something, and I think they could have.
It was a solid 3
It was a great.
Yeah,
all
good.
3 seasons were great. I
was good.
just wanted more of it. I
wouldn't say it was great, but I would say it was really good.
Stop back next week and tell us about it.
Yeah, there you go.
But you have to make sure you watch all of it.
Okay, we have to move on to me now. I am now. This is gonna make Mark feel good because it kind of validates his feeling about documentaries. Untold: The Murder of Air McNair. It is on Netflix. It's a new one, so I actually did watch something new.
Did he get murdered?
Yeah, he did. He got killed. Yeah.
Did he come back to life?
I bet you didn't see that coming.
I didn't. Even though it was in the title, I did not see that coming. Here's the thing. When you talk about not liking documentaries because they're things that you already know what happened, but I like them because there's information in there. Like I like the behind the scenes, the little things.
Yeah, there were a lot of things in there I didn't remember or even
think
that they made knowledge.
Well, I'm glad you watched it because here's what I thought at the end of this.
Okay.
Actually, what I started thinking this, and then I had to check how much time was left. So they went through the whole, here's where McNair came from, and then flash forward to they found him murdered. Then they go back. You know, it's one of those documentaries, back and forth. So they're telling the whole story, and then they get to, and his girlfriend committed suicide, murdered him and committed suicide. And I'm like, okay, all right, we already knew this. Then all of a sudden it was, but she bought the gun from this criminal who they just interviewed, and the criminal. So now I'm thinking, oh, wow, here's some new stuff that I'm going to figure out, and we're going to go down the conspiracy lane. And I love that.
Oh yeah.
So I checked how much time.
Told you so.
Right. I checked how much time was left by the time they got to that.
Yeah.
It was 9 minutes. I was like, this is going nowhere. This is going nowhere. This is the kind of documentary Schwab is talking about.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, literally, they're like, so what they did is they're like this guy who's like, what do police do? They investigate. They ask a witness a question. They don't go to his house and say, "No, you sold her the gun," right? They bring him down to the station and they do this. And then the next person they interviewed said, "That guy's a crock of shit. He was never even a cop." They play the music. It's the worst documentary I've ever seen in my life.
Well, good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you.
You're welcome,
I
Schwaber.
appreciate that review.
It was
Saving others.
It was horrible. Do not watch Untold: The Murder of Air McNair unless you just want to watch what you absolutely
and you know what?
already know.
You could have watched 2 hours of Ozark.
Absolutely. which is much better. John has 2 65 inches in his living room. God, that scares the hell out of me.
I'm jealous of his 65.
Yeah,
right there.
I mean, those
I didn't see that coming.
Those are two big units there, John. One for a game and the other the red zone.
That's the way to go. You got to get that quad screen up there with the YouTube.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right.
That's it.
Anything else to say, do, or hear?
Get ready
Or
for
say or
hockey.
think
It's
or-
coming.
Hockey is coming.
It's almost a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
Peace be with you.
All right. Thank you for watching the Sports Porch Black and Gold edition on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, all over the world, and Instagram. For listening on Radio PGH, we really appreciate it. And I'm going to drop this podcast right after the show on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you get your freaking podcasts.
Bye-bye, Pirate.
For HJ,
Podcast.
That's me.
for the Grand Schwabini, I am your technical director. Dennis Miller used to say, that's the news, and I am out of it.
I'm sticking to it.
Oh, really? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Crap. I got it wrong again.